everyone, it's Patty. I wanted to show you a Mother's Day card that I made. I used the Eastern Palace suite. This is one of the medallions from this set. So it's this one, and I've seen on Pinterest a lot of people have made sunflowers out of this, so I thought I'd give it a try. I love sunflowers. I moved to Florida from New York a couple of years ago, and I miss some of the flowers, sunflowers, black-eyed Susies. So I just love this card. So I used the medallions. I embossed, dry embossed the center, and then I put some Winkostella on and some leaves and stamped it Happy Mother's Day. So let's get started. I'm using the standard A2 size card. It's 5.5 by 8.5 and then scored at 4.25. And then I already pre-cut some of the pieces, so you didn't have to go through it all with me. When you cut out this medallion piece, this one here, it doesn't fully cut, so you have to kind of snip all between these. So I've done that already, so we don't have to, watch me do that. And then what I wanted to do was just sponge the tips. I love the effect that sponging the ends of something makes. You'll see it. It's not really dramatic, but it just gives it a little bit something more natural. So we'll just kind of go around to each petal, and I'm dipping the sponge in the ink pad and just kind of going around each petal. These sponges, Stampin' Up! Sells them, and you can cut them. They come in, big round sponge, and if you cut them in quarters, you can use each quarter for a different color. I think you could even make them smaller if you wanted. So I'm just kind of, I already went around, but let me just put a little bit more on, make it look, I don't know. So hopefully you can see the difference it makes. I'm not sure how it looks on camera, but let me just do this other one quick. And I can't believe Mother's Day is right around the corner here. I'm going to make a few cards over the next few days, so you have a variety to look at and see if you wanted to make any of them. The other thing is that the sentiment, it could be happy birthday, thinking of you, thank you, there's many sentiments. I'm just showing you how to do this card as a Mother's Day card, but, you can really make it anything you wanted. Okay, so let's put this away so we don't get ink anywhere. And I have my two pieces. And what I do with the two pieces is I just kind of offset them. I'll use some of this Tombow glue. I like the Tombow glue because it gives you a little bit of time to maneuver. And it really holds well. So let's get this done. So see, I can kind of move it around to get it exactly where I want before it actually dries and doesn't let me go any further. Okay, so I am going to put this aside and let that dry for a minute. And I'm going to show you how to dry emboss this little circle. Now the circle I used from the layering circles, and I just kind of went through to see what would fit the inside, and it turned out to be this one. So I cut that out already, and I'm going to use this Petal Burst embossing folder. So if you feel the embossing folder, there's a side that kind of pushes out and a side that pushes in. I don't know how else to explain it, but you'll see when I go through it. So I'm going to put this in. Let me get my Big Shot. And with these, I use a multi-purpose platform. And there's different tabs. So this tab here, it shows that it's for embossing folders, textured impressions. So I like to go through with the folded side first. And you could really place it anywhere in here. I mean, this is just kind of a mix of leaves, of petals. So I really love this. And I will put my plate down, put the embossing folder down, and just run it through. Okay, I'll just get rid of this. So here we go. So again, so this is the embossed side, and I think they call this the debossed side. So one pops up and one pops in. So I'm going to use the one that pops up here. And I am going to also glue this down. When you're using something like a dry embossing, you want to use this liquid glue just so it gets in the bumps and everything and does a good job, whoops, sticking. So let me just wipe my hand here. And then we'll place this right in the center and let that sit for a minute. Now for the card, the stem here, I was trying to find a stem, and you could probably freehand it, but there's something, it's the Swirly Scribbles. There's a Swirly Bird stamp set, and it coordinates with the Swirly Scribbles die set, and it looks kind of strange, but it's really great. I mean, I could use this, I'll use this piece for, I don't know, a trellis and put flowers. You can make wreaths out of these. Flowers. It's just really, it's a really cool set. At first when I saw it, I thought, well, that's kind of strange, but I've seen a lot of great cards made with this. So what I did was I cut it out with my Big Shot, and then I just cut, you know, one of the pieces because I thought it would make a nice stem for the flower. So that's what I did. And I'll just try to get my card here and figure out my placement. Kind of make it go on the side. And then I have leaves. These leaves are from the Stylish Stems. So I cut these out. And I didn't want to make you go through all the cutting out with the Big Shot. So I have 2 leaves, and I have my stem, and I have my flower. So for the stem, I'm going to put the stem down first, and I'm going to use this fine tip glue pen just to make sure. And it always opens wrong for me. There we go. So this gets you on some of these small pieces so you don't get glue everywhere. And this does dry clear, so that's a nice feature here. So I'm just going to go through and put some glue on here. And I know it's longer, so I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom. And kind of lay this down. I want to leave enough room for my sentiment over here. So let's see how that would look. I think that's pretty good. So I'll just cut the bottom here, and I do have glue on there, so let me throw that out. And I am going to pop up this with some dimensionals, if I can find them here. My desk is getting a little messy, so I'll put some dimensionals back here just to pop it up a little bit, give it some you know, additional dimension, hence the word dimensionals. And let me just pull those off. My fingers are a little sticky from that glue. Okay, and we'll put this right here. And then I'm going to, let me put on the sentiment. The sentiment is from a Paper Pumpkin set. I am a subscriber of Paper Pumpkin, and every month I get a kit, and it has everything you need in it. And to make a project, it could be cards, it could be bags, banners. There's all different things. And it comes with a stamp set, and it comes with a little ink pad. Let me just show you what they look like. This. So I've been collecting these, and I just stashed the stamp sets, and they have some really nice sayings, so I use the sentiments a lot. And I'm going to do this in early espresso. That's the center of the flowers, so I thought that would be a good color. So let me just ink that up, and I'm going to place it way down here. And then I want to color the flowers with watercolor pencils. Stampin' Up! Has some really nice watercolor pencils. They had them years and years ago, and they just came back with them, and I really love them. So I am going to use the Daffodil Delight and the Old Olive color, and I'll just quickly color the flower in. And I'm not going to go too crazy with, you know, reaching every part of it, because I'm going to use a blender pen and blend it all in, and it will kind of spread it out and make it look really nice. So I'm kind of just staying in the center. I hope you can see this. And then there's these blender pens that are really great. And the first thing you want to do is make sure there's no ink on it from your prior. And I would do the light one first. And it just kind of moves that color around and softens it up a little bit. So we'll do all the flowers, and then get that yellow off, and then we'll do the leaves. And then we'll get that green off. Okay, so all we have left are the leaves themselves. So let's see where we want to place them. Put one here, and we'll put one here. So I'm going to use this fine tip glue again, and just kind of get it. Oops. Sorry, I'm making a mess here. I think it was, I didn't put the cap on before, so I'm going to take this silicone pad, and just kind of get some of the oozy stuff out. And we'll put that one up here. And again, this dries clear, so if any ink is showing, it will come off. And let me do this on the silicone pad. Will keep your glue from kind of sticking to your work area. So that's a nice feature. It's sometimes a little frustrating to do these little skinny embellishments. All right, so let's put this one here. Oops. Let me just put this block down to kind of hold it down there for a second. And then the other thing I'm going to do is put, I'm going to just leave that there for a second. Wink Estella, I'm using the gold. We have this in clear and gold. And this just gives it some little, whoa, well that didn't work out good. There we go. Gives it a little bit of shine. So if you see this in the center, it kind of has glittery shine. It dries really fast. It's very pretty. I mean, the clear is great. I'm going to try the gold on here. And you just kind of paint it on. And I'm hoping you can see this. Let me just finish getting it on. I mean, you could put this on the leaves, on the flower, you know, the yellow part of the flower. It's really just gives it a little bit extra oomph. So let's see, just about done here. So hopefully you can see that glimmer. So these are the two cards. Again, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you like the video, if you want to give me a thumbs up on YouTube, I'd appreciate it. Okay, thank you and have a good day. Bye.